Here's the book Undercover. The author, Garry Clement, joins me in a minute. But first, please subscribe and become a member because we need to keep the status quo changing through this station. In any event, Undercover, lots of great stuff about the hoods that are infiltrating business in Canada. But let me focus on a new chapter for you, which is the Arctic. And I'm hearing more and more about this, that Canada has never paid attention to the Arctic, but China and Russia are. What's going on?
Well, it goes back to the Belt and Road Initiative of China, and the bottom line is what has happened is they have done a great job of going into our Indigenous communities in the north, and there's basically, let's be honest, the Indigenous people have been saying we've treated them badly for decades, generations.
Yeah.
And the Chinese are going in and have done a very good job ingratiating themselves that, you know, we really are distant cousins and we're here, we're going to help you. And
we don't like those guys in Ottawa ourselves.
That's right, and we want to invest. And by doing that investment, what we're doing is giving up our sovereignty, because the First Nations are now starting to believe that they have sovereignty over everything they do. It is in their right. But the question I would ask, I don't think a sovereign nation like Canada wants to give up any portion of their land to a foreign sovereignty like Russia or China. And the First Nations saying, well, we'll sell you all our minerals. We'll get in bed with you in a partnership because it's going to benefit us. And bear in mind what I'm saying about China. They're very good masters at creating these false flags, creating this partnerships, but they have a goal in mind. And that goal is the betterment of China.
Well, it's certainly not the betterment of Indigenous groups in the Arctic. So, Indigenous groups, I mean, are you saying that they're really a front, that they go in and lay claim to mineral rights and then, you know, sort of with the backing of China, sell it to China?
Very much so. That's what their goal is. And that's what.
And you say they're succeeding?
I believe they're succeeding, yes.
I have read other reports saying that Canada should be aware of China and Russia, but aren't we then subject to calls of racism? Just because they're Russian doesn't mean they can't be in Canada there.
Well, I think I would throw it back and say if we were to walk into Russia or we were to walk into China and try and do the same thing, I dare say we'd probably be sitting behind bars. And that's,
we'd be lucky probably.
If we were lucky, we're only sitting behind bars. And so we really need a foreign interference law in this country that we uphold, and we're not doing that. And we need a foreign registry where we start having these people register. You know, for crying out loud, we've had Chinese police stations, and what came out of it in Canada? Zero. Absolute zero. What came out of it in the United States? They were shipped out of the country. So why are we so different? I don't think that's racism. I think that's protecting our sovereignty and our nation.
I think you're absolutely right. I hope you pursue it. And Garry, thanks very much.
Thank you.
3 minutes. To those of you who have subscribed and donated, a heartfelt thank you. You're keeping us on the air. If you're watching and you haven't, please try to do so, because 4 years ago we started this show because there needed to be independent analysis. Now more than ever, with the Online Harms Act, once that gets into law, it's been passed once by the House, there are going to be hundreds of bureaucrats censoring the news in Canada, censoring this show. We need to keep it on the air. Thanks for your support.